Hi everyone, this video is going to cover how to choose a country as far as post-secondary school education goes. This is for students who are looking abroad for their undergraduate degree, and they know that they aren't going to be studying in their home country or their current country, and they're considering a few options. Now, the good thing to know is that this tends to be an easy question to answer. The three big questions that we want to um, consider are uh, country, course, um, and college. So, course and college tend to be pretty difficult questions to answer. They require a lot of research and a lot of soul searching. Uh, but choosing a country is not usually that difficult because there tends to be a natural answer to it. Um, and your parents are going to be very helpful and pivotal in that decision. Your counselor may be able to help you as far as giving you some advice on um, the strengths and weaknesses of and the suitability of a certain country system that might suit you better than others. And that's going to be focused on your strengths and your interests. Of course, taking inventory of those things is definitely step number one. Also, keep your mind open. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and don't just make a generalization about a country because you heard it from a friend. Do some research. There's so many opportunities out there um, that it'd be foolish to just let those slip through your fingers without doing the research. Additionally, think about your 5 and 10 year plans because this education is going to be leading to something, hopefully a job and happiness. And if you want to be studying um, in one country, consider how that's going to affect your job prospects in another country. For example, if you went to a school that provided perhaps a fantastic education, but was kind of a no-name, sort of lesser known school in your home country or the country you plan on being in 5 years or 10 years, well, maybe it's not going to be as effective. Likewise, maybe a less selective university in that country that you want to be in 5 or 10 years, um, that may have a very strong alumni uh, uh, network, and perhaps it would be a better option for you. But those are individual decisions that you need to make based on your own situation. Now, it's important to know that it's almost impossible for me to give you general country requirement information because this is an ever moving target. It is always changing, and it's too easy to make a generalization because next thing you know, it's going to change. It used to be that liberal arts colleges were unique to the U.S. and maybe a few other locations, but now they're everywhere. Um, there's just again just so many options out there. So keep your mind open. However, I will go over some very quick general just just quickly some ideas about each of these five options. These tend to be the five most popular at our school. So these are the ones that I chose to go run through here. So quickly, starting with the UK. When applying for the UK, you're going to use the UCAS system. That's UCAS, and it's a very straightforward online system. You have 5 choices, and the decision on admission, you'll get a conditional offer that's based on your IB scores, your predicted IB scores, and other things like your personal statement and your tutor reference. In general, an undergraduate degree is 3 years in length. Moving on to the U.S. application system is a little bit more involved. There are application systems for different areas, like the Texas Common Application, and then there's the University of California system. Um, but in general, you apply directly to the universities. We also have the Common App, which helps with that. So it does simplify things, but it's not quite as unified as the UCAS system in the UK. You can apply to as many universities as you want in the US. I highly recommend that you whittle down your selection to about 10, 10 being the upper end of that. And their decision is going to be it's also conditional, although it's a little bit less strict as far as their conditions. But it is a conditional offer based upon evaluating the transcript from your high school, test scores, which may include your SAT or ACT, and also your writing samples, which is like your essay, your short answer, as well as references. That's pretty normal. Some universities won't require those things. Again, it's tough to generalize here. One generalization that is generally true is that the undergraduate degree takes place in 4 years. On to Australia. This application system will depend upon whether you're Australian or applying as an international student. There are multiple entry dates to consider, one in July, one in February. Some universities have 3 entry points, but most of our students go in February, which means that you are able to finish the IB diploma and get your results, and then use those real results when you apply to Australian universities. After you graduate, you have a little bit of some time off, which I think students can really take advantage of. Do maybe some work experience, do some travel. It could be a really nice time to use. When you do get there, your undergraduate degree will take roughly 4 years. In Canada, again, it's going to be individual applications, with the exception of Ontario. Ontario does have a sort of a state system, and but you will be doing individual applications. You can do as many as you want. Their decisions are going to be, again, conditional, based upon transcripts and your IB scores, so your predicted IB scores. But they will be looking at a 4-year transcript as well. That's your term grades. References may be required for some universities, but it's definitely not required for all universities. And generally, you'll be getting your undergraduate degree in 4 years. Singapore is very similar to Canada. Individual applications to the universities. It's based upon transcripts and IB scores. References might be required. And the 2 things that are a little bit different about Singapore is that you may be required to submit an SAT score, but that's usually not the case for full IB diploma students. And the other thing that's a little bit different is that your undergraduate degree will be in 3 to 4 years. Some programs are 3 and some are 4. I hope this has been helpful. Again, I apologize for not being able to give you a whole lot of information about specific requirements for each country, because it changes between universities. But that's where your research should come in, and will be very helpful when you make your decisions. Thank you.